Redactions were made by this channel to respect the privacy of the former township employees. Cheryl and Deb, we have a bit of a dilemma going on here in Huntington Township. Mark Leer, our supervisor, head roadmaster, is on an extended vacation from until approved earlier in the year, and 2 add-on requests At about 3:30 on October 27th, full-time assistant roadmaster came into my office to sign out for the day and informed me he was quitting. I asked for a 2-week notice. He refused. He said he has been thinking about this for a while and discussed it with his wife and made the decision. He said his boss, he did not say Mark Leer, knows he was going to quit. He said he, quote, wouldn't be surprised if, quit also, end quote. Then he left. He was not rude or loud or mean or nasty. He just quit and walked out the door. Then, without the hallway door latching or even closing, part-time CDL operator came into my office and told me he was quitting. He works very few hours, only about 4 to 10 a 2-week pay period. I asked him to give a 2-week notice. He refused. He also used the exact same phrase that, quote, his boss, he also did not say Mark Leer, knew he was quitting, end quote. He also was not rude, loud, mean, or nasty either. He just quit and walked out the door. I called the chairman, Paul Guise, and vice chairman, Jeff King, both farmers out farming, to tell them what just happened before we're out of the parking lot. Mark had told Chairman Paul Guise in my office in front of me and one office assistant on either October 14th or 17th that part-time CDL operator would not be able to plow for us anymore because his current employer now forbids outside employment. Mark then asked if we would advertise for CDL drivers. He did not say anything about or at the time. We did advertise in 2 newspapers, on our website and on a community Facebook page. It will be in the paper and online there for 30 days. We did not have any interested parties call for an interview, but 2 farmers with CDLs and 1 resident, former supervisor, came in to pick up an application. The chairman and vice chairman plan to hire those 3 at our November 10th meeting. What a story. Do either of you have any advice for us?
Is there any public comment on the agenda items? Yes,
Is there somebody else that would like to go ahead of me?
I saw no other hand.
Okay, Marie DeGangi. A comment is actually an opinion. The reason I'm here this evening is to petition redress of grievances with the elected officials and to exercise the rights and protections under the First Amendment of the Constitution. As to my right to know requests listed on the agenda, as of December 8th, 2022, Board of Supervisors meeting, my name and that of another resident was on the agenda. I therefore requested that the township the recording be preserved, and I requested a copy indicating that the details could be worked out the next day. That being a right to know request. Chair Guise indicated no, that the recording was only for the use of the secretary. Being familiar with the right to know law, I knew that these recordings are considered public records. I am also aware, and previously aware, of the actual advisory opinion that's on the Open Records website. So I asked Chair Guise if he was refusing my request. He replied yes. The next morning, I hand-delivered a right-to-know request to the recording secretary, Davis, and she's also the appointed open records officer. On December 15th, she emailed Holly and Katie at PSATs. She included my right-to-know request and the recording policy of this township. She indicated the resident attended the meeting she wants the recording of. She was told on more than one occasion, at more than one meeting, that the recording is just for the secretary's use. Maybe we didn't use the right wording in the policy. Can I let her come in and listen to it? Should I do an extension? Are my 5 days already up? I'm just reading this because I know there's a time limit on this. So on that evening, Kathy Lisa from PSATs replied to her, and she indicated the Office of Open Records has issued the advisory opinion stating that the recordings of public meetings are public records. On the timing, Ms. Lisa said that you had till Friday the 16th. That actually isn't so, but we're not going to quibble over one day. A couple of other notes she indicated. You may want to remind her, meaning me, that anyone in attendance is welcome to record public meetings on their personal devices. Ms. Davis, the next time you speak with her or email her, let her know I don't need someone to remind me of my rights. August 11th minutes of the meeting, Mr. Guise made a motion for our meeting recording policy be that we will record all meetings for the secretary's use. As soon as the minutes are prepared, the recording will be erased. Mr. King seconded, the motion carried. In my research on retention of public records, the Open Records Office referred me to the Pennsylvania Historical Museum. I spoke with Cynthia Bendroth, Chief Record Services. The Municipal Records Manual Retention and Disposition Schedule for Records of Pennsylvania Municipalities approved December 16th, 2018, and as amended March 28, 2019, is on their website. This manual refers to the Municipal Records Act of January 18, 1968. Under Section AL-24, subsection 2, minutes, and I'm just going to read this in part. Quote, retain recordings of public meetings used in the preparation of the official minutes until the official minutes are approved. My questions: why is the board and the Open Records Officer not aware that these recordings are public records and the minimum retention schedule? Why does PSAT's analyst not mention that the recordings must be kept until the official minutes are approved? Has the township ever adopted the resolution as noted in the aforementioned manual? Was the recording retention policy adopted by this board on August 11th on the advice of the solicitor? Because it appears that the Board of Supervisors adopted a recording retention policy that is not consistent with, and it appears in violation of the minimum retention schedule. I also received copies of emails between Secretary Davis and PSAT's Ray the Road crew resigning. I will not be referencing those emails because employee issues should be handled in a confidential manner. It is my opinion that Secretary Davis's narrative in some of those emails are totally unprofessional and may cause liability to this township. However, one of the most egregious emails is dated December 6th. She sent this to Holly and Katie. We have another dilemma. Our elected supervisor appointed head roadmaster, Mark Leer, is resigning his head roadmaster position effective 12/31/22. Our BOS meeting is this Thursday, 12/8. Elected supervisor Jeff King has a brother who would apply for this position if it actually does become vacant. Must he recuse himself from voting because they are brothers? If so, there will probably be a tie vote for the appointment. Mr. Leer would probably vote against the appointment, while Mr. Guise would probably vote for it. How would the tie be broken? Second question, can two elected, and this is the egregious matter, can two elected supervisors remove the third elected supervisor? At what public meeting, or was it a private meeting, did Supervisor Guise and King discuss, vote, or decide to seek information on the removal of Supervisor Leer? Which supervisor or supervisors instructed Secretary Davis to seek advice on the removal of an elected supervisor? Holly Fischel's title at PSATS is Policy and Research Director. Is she a licensed attorney? Because in one of these emails, she gives what can be construed by the layperson as employment legal advice. You know, Mr. Leer, I've attended these BOS meetings for the past year. I've read the article in the Gettysburg Times concerning the resignation of the road crew. While attending these meetings, I have observed, I get so upset over this. Let me just take a minute, I'm sorry. I've observed the lack of respect shown to you. Your opinions really don't seem to matter to the other two supervisors. Your opinion, as you were quoted in the newspaper article, there is a clique here, and it's apparent you're not part of it. When I received these emails in response to my right to know request and read the narrative being conveyed to PSATS by Secretary Davis, I admit I wasn't surprised. Horrified? Yes. Surprised? I was not surprised by the lack of professionalism and the lack of confidentiality toward you and the former employees. I was present at 2 meetings where you requested that the road crew employees be given ARP monies to which they were entitled. Each time, Supervisors Guise and King refused. In fact, I believe it was at the one meeting where the board voted to give the office employees raises. What a slap in the face to the road crew. Why would anyone want to work where they are not appreciated? I only know you through these meetings, but you know what? You represent your constituents with integrity. And despite all the nonsense and childishness that goes on here, you keep fighting. Well, thank you. Keep up the good work.
Is it not true that the 3 of you maliciously, illegally, went behind backstabbing a duly elected official, taking our right as voters from we the people to do what you wanted to do, to try to remove a dual? Did you not do that?
No,
they're still trying to do it.
We did not do that. We asked a question because it was brought up by other members of the community, and they said no.
Fine, all 3 of you.
Employee matters shouldn't even be discussed in public meeting.
That is so malicious, evil, and disgusting what you were trying to do.
We were not trying to do anything other than gain information.
You an email like that. When I heard that email, I was disgusted.
Yeah, because
You're supposed to be
supposedly I didn't let them know.
This
I put the township in a bad position. You know what? I got another thing to say. Bill Story, and you all know it, was going to retire back in the middle of the summer. He stuck by me because he wanted to help me through this, okay? But when you guys, and you, Paul, when you told him that he was getting ARP money, and then you said he wasn't, it upset him to the point where he did not want to work here anymore. Okay, see, that's on you, not me. I fought for the people that work in this township.
I understand.
I fought for every employee, not just me and my road crew.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
So everybody knew he was going to quit anyhow.
You're
So how come
lying.
you're trying to hang me?
You're lying because I never said that I would give
I'm
him
not lying.
ARP money. I said I would consider it. I considered it, and we said no.
I'm listening to my employee that I trust. That was between you guys, but I'm just saying, there's more to this than meets the eye.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
It's not all me. No, whatever, you guys brought it up. You want to sit here and read my resignation letter in front of everybody? Really?
Yeah, really.
So disrespectful.
Okay, that's fine.
Talk to your attorney about it.
He
Yeah.
ain't worth a pint of shit either.
No, she don't mean that, attorney.
Oh, no, I'm talking about a private attorney.
Okay, everybody finished?
Malicious.
Sure.
And by the way, I was not making a comment, I was asking the three of you a question. Did you or did you not do something?
I didn't even know.
So,
I didn't even know.
I
what
gave
you-
my name and address, and I think the rest of
You
the
wanna
people
answer it?
who want to speak up.
I already answered it.
What?
They should make
Whether
everybody
we
sign in.
whether we could
Everybody,
have him-
in case there's litigation.
We contacted PSATs and asked. That's exactly what we did. You guys have the email. Public comment.
Why were you asking that question? Why were you asking?
Everyone sitting here knows the reason.
Because
No.
It
you
doesn't need to
had,
be asked.
you were trying to do something malicious.
Exactly.
No, we were trying to be, we were trying to be, we were trying to be. We were trying to know the answer for when, if something like that would happen.
I mean, it's common sense that you can't do that. I think that's common sense.
They've been doing it for 15 years.
I'm surprised. that you need
16.
to ask somebody if you can do
And
it.
they're still doing it today, right here tonight.